so much disability that comes with it. So I'm going to now start part 2, which is how on earth do you do something to stop these horrendous symptoms. So let's start off with a day in my life. When I wake up in the morning, I feel absolutely dreadful, and there is no other word for it, but it's not the same every day, and that's the thing about POTS. Some days it's not too bad, other days it's absolutely horrendous. But the most important thing you have to remember is when you've been in bed, you're getting dehydrated. And that's why one of the things that I decided to do in this Maldivian holiday was to go to bed early. I thought, well, Emmy needs lots of rest, therefore I'll have my dinner and I'll go to bed early. Well, of course, the problem is that you haven't digested your dinner, you've gone to bed early, you've stayed in bed 10 or 12 hours, and all you've done in a high humidity place like that is become a shriveled up prune. And of course, then your heart's banging in your chest and you can't do anything, and you can't recover from it. So a normal day for me at home would be to have enough sleep, but not to have too much. Now, I don't sleep very well anyway because of the symptoms, but the main thing I'm trying to say here is, especially if you're a teenager, for instance, who loves a good long time in bed, for goodness sake, take something to bed with you to drink in the night, and try and even set the alarm, because if you get dehydrated, the whole saga starts again. So what I do in the morning before I even get up is I have a glass of something hydrating. So for me, there's 3 choices here, and I'm going to show you them. Thanks to my POTS friend Liz on YouTube, this is my #1 favourite, Vita Coco. This is coconut water, and you can buy this in Waitrose or in the home delivery company Ocado. In America, you can get it from Amazon.com, and it's quite widely available over there because it is actually made over there. It's quite expensive, but the things that are in this Vita Coco, I'm sure I can get on camera properly for you. Sorry, because I'm shaking it around a bit. There you go. The things that are in this are almost the same in terms of electrolytes as what your blood is actually made of. In fact, they have used coconut water as an electrolyte replacement drip in certain wars in the world when soldiers were injured. So this is my #1 choice, and you can take it upstairs to bed with you, put it in a glass, it's perfectly okay through the night. Just drink this, wait for 5 or 10, even 15 minutes, and take your time. Sit up very slowly. Don't stand up in a hurry, and be very careful during the night as well if you get up to the bathroom, because that's when it can really hit you and you can become very, very dizzy. And of course, it's not just the dizziness, it's the passing out, which some people actually go on to do, which can be very dangerous. So that's what my #1. This is absolutely fantastic as well, this Vita Coco. If you're going to a hot place, for instance, when I went to see my son in Arizona, I actually ordered some of this to be delivered to his house before I actually left the UK, so that I knew that I'd have some the minute I arrived, because that's really important if you're going to go on an aeroplane anywhere. The problem is now they're restricting you to take drinks on flights. You have to buy them once you've gone through check-in, and to be honest, a lot of times you can't buy coconut water, but I'll come on to that in a minute as an alternative. So here we are. So that's your first choice. The second choice are these. Now, I actually really like these. These are called Nun tablets. I just put them up there. I'll just get them into the right part of the. There we go. Nun tablets. That's it. N-U-U-N. Now these are great because they're sugar-free, so you're not going to get glucose problems. They are hydration, and they're tablets. And because they're tablets, you just put one in water. You just dissolve it in water, and it tells you the concentration you use. There's this little tablet there, and you just put it in water. And the great thing about these is that you can actually take them with you. They're very portable. I took these on my holiday as well. And the great thing is with these, you can also drink them on an aeroplane, because you can take them onto the plane in your hand luggage, and you can put them into water that you can either take on after you bought it after security. You can take some bottles of water with you and add this to it, or obviously if you buy them on the plane. But these are really, really good, and they're really portable. You can buy these on Amazon. You can buy them many places now. Sports shops sell them as well, because they're really designed for electrolyte replacement following sports. The other thing I did have in the US is this, which is called Cliff Shot. Just going to turn that around a bit as well. That was very good when I was in Arizona, because this is actually, again, electrolyte replacement fluid. It does have a little bit of sugar in, I believe, but my son and his wife take this a lot because they live in, say, Tucson, Arizona, so it's very hot there. So that's another really good tip, especially in humid, hot weather. That's particularly good. I don't drink these fluids all day long. I mean, it's literally to get me out of bed and in humid weather. And so those are the things that I take to get out of bed, to start the day. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is salt. And salt's very important because you do need to salt your food. Now, there is a bit of a danger here. If you've got high blood pressure, which a lot of people with ME don't actually have, but there are 1 or 2 people who do, then be very careful with salt. Check with your doctor. Don't just put salt on your food, because it could be very dangerous. And some people, when they're lying down, their blood pressure is already elevated, and for those people, you do need to seek medical advice. But for somebody with relatively low blood pressure, just salt your food. Buy Himalayan salt or Atlantic sea salt, some high quality salt, because then you're going to get some minerals in there as well. That's really important. I know a lot of people with POTS also have crisps and pretzels and salted soups, and again, that's fine. Obviously, you've got to watch your calories and your fat intake. And because I'm getting on in years, shall we say, I do try to keep the weight down. So I would say keep the moderate that in mind. That I use the salt, which I put on things during the day. Keep hydrated. Obviously, don't overdo the water. I mean, you can't just sit there and drink loads and loads of water all in one go. It can actually be very dangerous. But don't let an hour go by without having a drink. Have herb teas are very good. Decaffeinated coffee. Don't have too much caffeine, because that can be dehydrating. Make sure you've always got a drink with you at all times. Now, the other thing to remember is showers are, for me, worst enemy. It may not be for you, but they certainly were for me, and they still are today. So if you have a bath, keep the water temperature quite cool. Be very careful getting in and out of it. Now, meals. When you eat a meal, if you eat a big meal, you will find that all the blood is rushing to your stomach, and I've already said you've probably got the low blood volume. So you don't want to be eating a large meal at any one time. Have 6 meals a day, or just keep your portion sizes small. What I tend to do is I don't eat anything after 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, because if you do, then it's still in your stomach when you lie down, and the blood just doesn't know where to go. It doesn't know whether to digest your food. It doesn't know whether to go to your brain, and you can feel dreadful and have a really bad night's sleep. So I never eat beyond 5 or 6 o'clock, except if I feel hungry, I might have something like a protein shake or 2 or 3 almonds or something like that before I go to bed. Try and keep off sugar. I know it's hard because everyone likes a donut, but it really makes things worse. High carbohydrate meals, I have found, will cause all the blood to rush to the stomach and make everything so much worse. So that's the most important thing. So keep your bath temperature cool. Hydrate yourself a lot in the morning, mostly through the day, and keep your portion sizes sensible. And here's the thing, alcohol, it's no good. It doesn't go with POTS. I do have the occasional drink, but it has to be with food, and if you have it by itself, then you're just going to be in for a very bad night. You've probably got palpitations, sweats. You're going to feel dehydrated, because these are all your worst enemies.